r/ask Reddit. What is a legal scam that is still happening in 2022? Printing fee for digital tickets. Especially when you have to print them at home with your own printer, paper, and ink? Don't tell that to HP and their printer subscription service with ink cartridges that get deactivated if you unsubscribe. Congress officials being allowed to trade stocks. This on so many levels. I worked for a large accounting firm in the US. I was it for the S&P basically. My dad and mother-in-law could not hold stocks in certain business while I worked there. But Congress can buy and sell on anything they are making laws about. Civil servants working in sensitive areas literally cannot hold stocks in those industries. How Congress can do so makes no sense at all. That all of government gets lumped into the corruption at the elected officials is infuriating. It makes sense because they make their own tiles. Rules for the not for me. MLMs. I'm my own CEO. No, you aren't. You literally have a company telling you what you can and can't do. Imagine starting a company where you take responsibility for all of the expenses but get none of the revenue. My mom sold Mary Kay for years. They don't even let these poor employees advertise. You literally have to talk to random strangers and convince them to buy shit out of your trunk or invite you into their home for a party. Some of her friends' clients, because the only way to really sell this stuff is to prey on friends and relatives, would insist she drive an eyeliner to their home. Also, the pressure to convert those clients to sales reps is immense. If you don't make money. And the worst part is these things target single moms and others who are struggling. It's predatory and the conferences justify it with pretty language that talks about how these women and you both benefits from the whole system. Oh, and it's definitely not an MLM. Look, if you want to get in on some legal scam, you have to do your own research. That's why I recommend you buy my book, What You Can Do to Legally Become Rich in 12 Easy Lessons. Just 24 easy payments of $199.99 and you will have the secrets to being a millionaire unveiled right before your eyes. My personal testimonial of this, I'm not a big reading person, but when I picked up What You Can Do to Legally Become Rich in 12 Easy Lessons, each lesson was only a paragraph long and used words even I could understand. I'd highly recommend this book. I'm so dedicated to this book that I even signed up to be their affiliate to save you 20% off your purchase. Use my promo code COFFEE and Aerox Glass, affiliate partner 20 at checkout. Whoa! 20% is such a huge amount of savings. I know that you only have 7 affiliate spots and so thankful that I got your last spot. Because I'm such a team player though, I will be giving a 20% discount to the next 7 affiliates that signs up with me. Get this book now, and you too can legally become rich like us. Civil forfeiture. You're going to tell me that a cop thinks that my property might be used for illegal activity and that cop is going to steal it from me and pad their department's bottom line? What the actual F? Enough people don't know about this. Unless you're one of the victims it happens to, then you're like WTF, the police just robbed me. The average person probably doesn't carry a lot of cash on them at once, so people probably just don't think about it. Choosing to carry a large amount of cash on your person, being considered probable cause for illegal activity and allowing the cops to seize it without due process is one of the most broken things about our system. Everyone that knows what it is thinks it's bullshit, whether they love or hate the current state of policing in the US, yet it sticks around. Televangelists like Joel Osteen. In that note, churches not paying taxes. It's completely unacceptable and really disgusting. I cannot imagine tithing to a church with a pastor who has big houses and a private jet and luxury cars. Megachurches are just a service that people willingly pay for. So they should be treated like a business and not have tax-exempt status? Having to file your own taxes then being fined if you don't do it right. Edit. As many pointed out, the IRS doesn't know all of it, but they know enough for the average person. Companies shouldn't be allowed to lobby to keep the process convoluted, and there shouldn't be such a large industry around tax prep. Seconded. The fact that there is a huge industry around helping you do your taxes is a red flag. If doing your taxes right is too taxing, and complicated, then the Fed should provide a free TurboTax equivalent. Edit. There is a free software that can be found on the IRS website. Private prisons. You're telling me that they charge the government for the beds and the taxpayers still gotta foot the bill if those beds are empty, so the company running it doesn't lose money? Frick you. Here in Arizona in 2020, the governor announced the closing of the state prison in Florence as a cost-saving measure. It was costing the state $71 per prisoner per day to operate. They've announced in the last week they are moving the inmates to a private prison that's going to cost the state $85 per prisoner per day to operate. Also, they're guaranteeing the private prison that they'll maintain at least 90% capacity, which is just another way of giving judges an incentive to find people guilty. Charging for parking in hospitals and clinics. Also charging people money to withdraw money or because they have small, positive balances in their bank accounts. Additionally, charging patients in hospitals for TV service. Their bills are high enough, but you want to add $8 a day to not have to sit in silence for 23 hours a day? They charge for every pill and tongue depressor they use on you. Hospitals nickel and dime patients to death. Edit, of course this in the USA. I doubt any other country does this. That news in America is entertainment. Can get away with saying pretty much anything and still call it news. It frustrates me how normal weasel words are in newscasts these days and how many people can't distinguish them easily. New studies show there may be a link between eating M&Ms and your hair color. Yay, that also means it may not, but that doesn't get views. Sadly overplayed, but health insurance. Just yesterday there was a post about a guy who had medically necessary surgery and the insurance didn't want to pay the hospital. Pay us every month and we'll cover things like healthcare, car accidents, and other things that just happen in life to make sure you're protected. Thing in life happens. Yeah, we ain't gonna pay shit on any of that, but keep paying us our absurd monthly rates or you might be screwed if something should happen. Oh, and your premiums are going up because you got in the accident we aren't going to pay for. This? Found out the hard way that health insurance is basically a membership fee that entitles me to pay full price for everything. Cable company making you rent a router for $10 a month. Shiz should be illegal. Check if you can get your own. My local company allows me to use my own router and their modem. The only downside is if anything goes wrong they won't check it because it must be your equipment. If you're a personal business owner, you may receive what looks to be a bill in your mail from the US Domain Authority. At first glance, you're under the impression that you need to pay $289 to renew your website domain name. However, there is very fine print stating that you are not legally required to pay the listed amount. It's actually an ad requesting you pay that amount in order to have your website listed on the US Domain Authority site. I can't imagine how many people have been tricked by this. Read your mail carefully. I got this letter just the other day. They look so legitimate, but it went right into the trash. Hot single ladies in your area. They are there, they just don't want you. They don't want me either. Lobbying? I'd be fine with lobbying so long as the politicians were forced to wear patches bearing the names of their sponsors like NASCAR. Bigger patches for bigger donations. Then at least the voter would be informed. Somehow, I don't think it'll catch on. Payday loans and super high interest predatory rent to own furniture rental loan things. Where you end up paying like $3,000 in the end for a $500 laptop. Medication costs. My dog had hookworm, and so my doctor recommended I get treated as well just to be safe. Pharmacy called me warning that it would cost me $2,995. Asked my doctor if there was an alternative. Was able to get an equally effective treatment for $45. Doctor advised anti-malaria pills before traveling to Southeast Asia. All the pharmacies I called in my area told me the cost would be about $600 to fill the prescription, no insurance. I got it filled at a legitimate pharmacy in Vietnam for $20, and I don't think they required a prescription. I don't know how the hell med insurance companies just get away with things like this. I do have insurance, but it's early in the year, so if I were to have gotten the initial prescription filled, I'd have been paying more than my entire family's deductible at once, within less than a week. Very glad I messaged my doctor. They are willing to charge a different amount if you're extremely poor. You know what that tells me? The drug can be produced for profit at the rock bottom poverty price. Insane rent prices for houses even squatters wouldn't stay at. Frick me, it has gotten so bad in the past 10 years. Rent doubled in my area. People are mad at all the scalpers hoarding all the PS5s and reselling them for exorbitant prices, but don't bat an eye at all the landlords hoarding all the houses and doing the same thing. Colleges and universities have a 40 to 60% graduation rate in 6 years for a 4-year degree. Prices have doubled. Most degrees don't prepare you for a career in that field like they used to. Online classes which just link to a lot of sources and copy-paste for over a decade. Now, go sit down with a college admissions counselor as a 17-year-old kid and let them sell you like a TV evangelist. Signing loans that can't be cleared in bankruptcy left and right. To be clear, I think college and a liberal arts education is crucial, but whatever the US is doing should be a crime.